That's right. Welcome. Ooh, that was a good one. Welcome in, welcome back, folks, to how Freeman and his Notre Dame buddies have revitalized Notre Dame quarterback recruiting for the better edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, thanks for being here. You can find that program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Yanni Boy out as well. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter. Search bar Always Irish Rat. Always Irishing. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can get it if you don't want to see my face. Nobody blames you for that one. How do you think I feel? The call-in lines, if they work. Battle last week. Just couldn't get. What do I look like? I work at AT&T? I got phone problems. Dial me up anyways. Let's test them. 312-988-15. Dialed up. Tell cousin Johnny all you've heard and seen. USA Today Irish Wire. Read all about it. Patreon.com/Always Irish. It's the former captain. He happens to be the leading tackler. It's Mike Goolsby. We break it all down, baby. Raw and real to get you in that ND feel. Thanks to everybody who's joined. All right. Hope everybody's doing well. Good news for Notre Dame. 2 weekends in a row on the recruiting front. Oh, I love it. It's a beautiful thing in the summer. No news is good news in the summer for college football unless it's recruiting. That's like something I've learned. Usually anything else that comes out, Johnny don't like it. Makes me nervous. But here we are. 4-star, almost 6'5" quarterback Noah Grubbs is committed to Notre Dame. It was the rumor, Hart and Grubbs, they both want the spot. Whoever commits first is going to get it. Oh, I love hearing that. You give me multiple guys that are considered to be what these guys are that want to jump in. Oh, baby, that tells you something new is a brewing in South Bend, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So this keeps Notre Dame quarterback recruiting on a roll. The way Freeman and his staff are attacking recruiting this position is 100% the opposite way the previous staff did it, and it shows, and it was needed, and it's 20 years past due, and it's going to start showing results on the field very, very soon. That's my opening statement, okay? Let's go over 5 different ways this has all changed and how these changes help Notre Dame be more successful with quarterback recruiting. Number 1. Relationships. Okay? Freeman is as genuine as the day is long, and everybody knows it's real. It makes a difference. These kids are not stupid. They see right through can recruiting bullshit. They're too smart for it now. They actually want to get to know the head coach, the supporting cast, Gino, Denbrock, Chad, everybody involved. These relationships being forged are real. They're not sales fluff. And it's paying off. It's paying off. And I know it's like, oh, John, you love Freeman and the way he talks, but we had 10 guys on the field against Ohio State, and I need that to be fit. Totally get it. I totally understand it. And I also understand that when I talk about this as being a key feature of Marcus Freeman, that it's not something you see every day as a fan, right? Like those conversations in recruiting at high school with the guy and his coach and his parents and all that. We don't see that. We don't hear that. It's hard to value something a lot you don't see directly as a fan. Trust me, it matters. Trust me, it matters. Said it before, say it again. Relationships matter in college football, and they matter everywhere. They matter more in Notre Dame. Don't ask me why. Close-knit, small community, private, whatever the reason, I've just found that the way you navigate all the relationships at Notre Dame, just everything's magnified. And if it's good, it gets magnified in a good way. If it's bad, it also has a cascading effect downward. Look no further than the last coach if you want to know how that goes. A stalemate between everybody. He wanted more out of the university wanted more out of him. Everybody has a stalemate. Everybody just goes along to get along. It's not healthy, and you felt it. You felt it. And you know who definitely felt it? Brian Kelly felt it and found a way out. Okay? These relationships matter. Freeman setting the right tone with his messaging, and all the other guys involved are on board, and they all work their asses off. The relationships come first. They matter. It's a big deal. I can't measure it, whatever. You don't see it on the field. I know. Just trust me. It's a big deal behind the scenes, folks. Number 2, timing. Oh, this is such a big deal. And I've spoken about this a lot. Quarterbacks are just different. It's just different recruiting a quarterback than any other position in sports, not even football. And it's very hard to land the elite ones because everybody wants them. Okay, this is not offensive linemen when there's a bunch of them. And no, man, there's a small net of those quarterbacks that are going to be difference makers, and every top program wants them. Okay? You can't, if you're Notre Dame, jump on a guy in his senior high school year and, he's starting that season. Oh, we love you and your grades are right. And we love you and we want you to consider coming to Notre Dame. That was the Kelly way. The kids didn't buy it. Those who really loved him have been talking to him for a year or two before Notre Dame even knocks at the door. Right away, we were losing that relationship dynamic. You can't say you love a guy when the other good teams have been loving him longer. The kids don't buy it. Those who loved him were trying to build this relationship a year or two before Notre Dame was. And I know what you're going to say. There's a practical reason for that, John. Kelly didn't want to get too far down the road with the guy young in high school and then realize he's not an academic fit or the test scores don't line up, whatever. I don't care. Freeman's doing it the other way. If you're a good player and we like you, we're going after you hard until there's a reason we shouldn't and we can't. Does that take longer? Yes. Does it mean you might put in some resources and extra time that don't give you any ROI if you strike out? Yeah, that's true. I don't care. It needs to be done. That's the job. That's the job. Kelly didn't want to put that time in on maybes. Have the underlings do all the groundwork and the hard part. Kelly wanted to come in. Oh, he's the closer coming in late in the game and then wrap it all up. That's how you... No. It just didn't work. It didn't work. That's how you ended up having RKGs as the quarterback, and the highest rated guys Kelly got, they didn't work out at all. Swings and misses for a lot of different reasons. The kid, Notre Dame, Kelly, I don't know why, but even the highest one didn't work. Phil, he's like a pariah in college football, the guy. Personality problem. No wonder Kelly was attracted to him. Like, that makes perfect sense to me. That old way didn't work. I understand why Kelly didn't want to waste resources on a guy he wasn't sure could get into school or had genuine interest or whatever. But what that did is it pushes your timeline back and back and back. And then if you're not in the mix for a top guy, you don't have a lot of time to figure something out. And then you get RKGs. Good kids want to go to Notre Dame, not a lot of ego, not a lot of high-end tap. That's how you end up with RKGs. And the last thing I'm ever going to do is rip a guy like Ian Book or whatever for what he did to know. He's an RKG plus, but he ain't a guy that's putting the team on his back and driving you with his arm to win a big, like the best team you play. He wasn't that guy. That's the guy you need. That's an RKG plus. Really tough, really good. A lot of reasons to love it, but doesn't have the elite tools it takes for Notre Dame to beat the best teams on their schedule every year. That's what we're looking for. And that used to be Notre Dame's quarterback history for most of the history of the damn school. As a matter of fact, Notre Dame quarterbacks rise into the occasion. The odds are against them, and the quarterback puts team on his back and wins the game in the biggest game. That's Notre Dame my grandfather enjoyed with Frank. That's the Notre Dame my father enjoyed growing up. Me? My hair's falling out. Anyways, starting earlier in these relationships is a benefit in every way for everyone involved. Flexibility, time to shift your plan if you need to, building a longer relationship ramp and trust with the kid in his camp. This is the way to recruit good quarterbacks, but it takes extra effort, time, patience, and a willingness to lose a battle, and there's no ROI, and all the time and resources just gone. You got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with that. Also, having the head coach be involved every step of the way is a big deal. Gone are the days where that guy could just hang out in his office or at the country club and then come in and finish. That guy's got to want to be involved with all of it. And our guy is. So that's with the timing. Move it all up, get on guys earlier, and then you know where you stand sooner. It's a much healthier dynamic for Notre Dame to maneuver within. Okay? Number 3, the pitch. Modern, honest, direct, pure intentioned messaging about what Notre Dame is and is not. There's no vague promises of certain things or like a misunderstanding of what this is going to look like. No, you're going to need to go to school. You're going to need to be a good guy, and you're going to need to prove yourself on the field to get a fat NIL check. The players appreciate this, even if they learn, you know what, I'm looking for different things in Notre Dame, and this really isn't a good fit for me. I'm not comfortable with it, whatever the reason. There's no games being played, so then everyone knows the exact score. This helps both sides. If Notre Dame knows it's not a fit or the kid knows it's early on. We're not like kicking this down the road till the realities come out. Guys know early on what's expected at Notre Dame, that it's going to be a harder path than a lot of other schools. And it takes a unique kid and camp to want to do that. Being honest and direct with that pitch, it really does help. And the sooner both sides know it's not a fit, the better it is for everybody involved to go their own way. And nobody's wasting any time or resources. That's very helpful for everyone. I think Freeman got taught a lot of tough lessons with that Dante Moore situation. I think that was eye-opening for Marcus in a lot of ways. And maybe it's like you think it isn't going to happen to you because you're different, and then you go through it and then you learn the hard way very publicly what you need to do to protect your operation from being left at the altar in that big of a way again. And what kind of guy you're going after. And I think that was a big lesson for Freeman. And I think it hit him personally, and he had to learn from it. And I think we're better off for it. Number 4, support. Notre Dame can now approach these guys and say, we got the highest paid OC in the country who just coached the Heisman guy. It's a pretty good pitch. A very likable and capable quarterback coach like Gino. Notre Dame's on the rise overall in recruiting, and they have a really good team set up for 24. That helps. If you could land a couple or a few of these 25 receivers, you got a lot of support to offer quarterback in terms of talent and the coaches that are going to be working with them day in and day out. This wasn't always the case. You could pitch Notre Dame pretty well now, man. You got the O-line lineage there to protect you, really skilled running backs, good tight ends that all go to the league. If you could get that wide receiver position in a healthy spot to point to, Notre Dame's slowly becoming a lot more appealing to a lot of high-end quarterbacks. I love that. Think about it. It's just not a vacuum. I'm going to Notre Dame. Who's blocking for me? Who's calling my plays? Who the hell am I throwing to? This all matters. Notre Dame's able to pitch a better package now. And number 5, proper prioritization. Quarterbacks are different than any other spot you recruit in football or any other sport. Quarterbacks are different. You got to respect that and lean into it. I know some people don't like the red carpet and the diva treatment they get, and you got an entourage and you got an uncle that's wanting to call the shots, and I'm being offered this from them and this from that, and whatever. I get that the dynamic turns people off sometimes. Too damn bad. You either want in this game at eye level or you don't. You got to lean into the fact that quarterbacks are different and cater to it in your own unique way that works for you and your school and your coach. You got to be okay living with bravado that comes with these quarterbacks, even at a young age. You got to lean into it or you're going to RKG yourself to winning nothing. Okay? You got to cater to the best one sometimes, some ways. It's just a requirement to be in the mix for one of these difference makers. So those are my 5 bullet points, okay? The relationship building, the timing moving up, the pitch, the support, and the proper prioritization. Here's the reality about where Notre Dame's trying to get. This is about spins at the wheel. This is about having as many quarterbacks in your building overlapping at one time where they all have high enough upside potential that one of them's going to hit and be the guy. You got more spins at the wheel. The more of these guys that are highly thought of and recruited that you get in the building, more spins at the wheel. And it's like, John, I don't know why everybody's so excited. All these guys aren't going to stay. Duh. We know they're all not going to stay. It's all about having more spins at one of them when you do have them all to pick the right one. It's not all in on one guy, and if he flames out, you're screwed. Like, no. This is about more rolls of the dice of having one of these highly thought of guys really hit and be that deciding quarterback factor we have not had for so long. I always say this. Notre Dame needs any dreams of success in this expanded playoff, 12 and then 14. Notre Dame needs a quarterback they win their biggest games because of. Not with, and the defense drags the offense across the finish line. And not at all, where you're not winning them at all. Notre Dame needs a quarterback you win your biggest games because of. Not they made a miraculous play to beat a 4-loss team that you should beat and you barely get by and we're going to act like that's hero ball. No, that's not what I have in mind. A guy who says, screw this, things are not going our way. I'm putting the team on my back, leading them down the field for a touchdown now. And I'm doing it because I'm great and I'm a leader and everybody follows my vibe and I'm making it happen, baby. And I have the mental capacity to do it, the emotional capacity, and the physical capacity. And I'm going to be that guy for Notre Dame. We have not had that in so long. So long. It's the most important individual position in sports. If you get it right, anything is possible for you. A great quarterback is a tide that raises all ships in your dock, so to speak.